So today for math, my friends, we're going to be talking about patterns. And we read some stories that have patterns. Remember, a pattern is something that repeats itself over and over again. It can get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We could do clap. We could do clap, pat. We could do clap, pat, stretch. Clap, pat, stretch, touch your head. So that's kind of what our story is going to be. It's going to start with one thing. Then it's going to go to more and more and more. It's going to get bigger. And I want you to be listening and helping Miss Woloschuk read when you notice the pattern. Got it? Now this is a story that I think we've read quite a few times, so you might recognize the pattern right away. It's called The Napping House. So sorry. All right, let me open it. The Napping House. There is a house, a napping house, where everyone is sleeping. And in that house, there is a bed, a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that bed, there is a granny, a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that granny, there is a child, a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in the napping house, where everyone is sleeping. And on that child, there is a dog, a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Wow, so we already started this story and our pattern is growing. Remember, we started with the house and we keep saying that every single time. On a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Then we added the granny. So it was a granny, then the bed, and then the house. Then it was the child. Child, granny, bed, house. Then the dog. Dog, child, granny, bed, house. Wow, so this is definitely a pattern. I want you to try to help me say the patterns for the next couple of pages. Do you think you can do that? Awesome, it's just gonna go right down the bed, just like we've been doing this whole time. And on that dog, there is a cat, a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in the napping house where everyone is sleeping. Good job. Oh, that's not good. And on that cat, there is a mouse, a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a sleeping, dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in the napping house where everyone is sleeping. All right, help me say the whole page this time. Here we go. And on that mouse, there is a flea. Can it be a wakeful flea? On a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in the napping house where everyone is sleeping. A wakeful flea who bites the mouse, who scares the cat. Who's next? The dog, good job. Who claws the dog, who thumps the child, who bumps the granny, who breaks the bed, in the napping house where no one now is sleeping. The end. Very good. All right, round of applause. Now in that story, we had a pattern that grew. It got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? What was our pattern like? What was in our pattern? What animals and people? Yeah, well, maybe you can help me say it actually. Let's say, so we have the flea, then who was next? The cat, the dog, the child. Oh, the flea, the mouse, the cat, the dog, the child, the granny, the bed, and the napping house where everyone is sleeping. Now tomorrow we're going to continue noticing some patterns because we're eventually going to build our own. So thanks for helping me out.